Do I sound gay?
Yes, I think you do sound gay. Not as much as I do, but...
Yes. Yes.
Non. En français, non. In English, I don't know.
Yes.
Not at all.
Really?
It's your tone, which is like intellectual, so people can read it as gay.
I would have just maybe lumped you in the artsy-fartsy.
Sound creative.
You have like the S in the front of the mouth, which is part of the gay man stereotype. There is something slightly melodic.
I think it's the nasality.
I would definitely rate you as a metrosexual.
No.
Not at all.
No.
You sound like a human being male.
Je sais pas. Je sais pas. On se connaît pas assez. It's perhaps more the fact that I'm gay as well, so I kind of pick up on that.
You don't sound like gay, maybe because I'm steeped in gay.
You could sound gay if you wanted to make it a very cast a very wide net.
We enunciate. And if that's gay, mwah.
So, do I sound gay?
When you say it like that, you do.
Okay, let me rephrase the question.
Do I sound gay?
Do you guys think I sound gay?
Yes.
Yes.
I do, but I don't think it sounds as bad as you think it sounds. So.
It's interesting you choose the word bad.
It's true.
What do you mean bad? No, I don't mean
You
it like
said
that.
bad.
Sorry, I don't mean
Right,
it like
he
that.
said it. He said it. I didn't ask.
No, he said the word bad.
I know. I'm saying you
Yeah.
challenged him. I didn't.
But I mean,
challenge
because
you.
I have the impression that you think it sounds bad. That's why I said
Right.
that. But yeah, I don't think it's like this
Don't you have
off
something
the
to-
charts thing that you have the impression that it is. You know? It's,
But when you say bad, you mean something negative, obviously.
yes, but I mean, I interpret David's feelings about this and the feelings around this
Right.
whole
Yeah, of
project
course.
as bad.
Negative
I mean,
feelings.
he has negative feelings about his voice, about
Sure.
the perception that it creates. So I just,
And you don't feel that at all yourself?
I have, sort of a generic self-loathing that is created around my gayness, but if
Right.
my
Is your
voice is part of it, then it might be. But I don't think I could sort of say it's the only thing,
Right.
or,
But
like
is
that,
your-
or the main thing.
Is your voice part of it?
Sure, it's part of it.
I think I feel out of sync with my voice, and at least it seems to me like that it's anxiety about sounding too gay. So, okay, let's see what it's like to not sound gay, and maybe I'll feel more in sync, or maybe I'll have some idea of what my voice should sound like. So,
But you could also argue, like, why don't you just accept how you sound?
What's wrong with you? I mean, because I think, for myself, for you, for other people, it's like, when I think about it on a rational level, it's like, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with my voice. This is my voice. This is who I am. It's a beautiful thing.
We have never talked about this idea until you brought it up. I don't know anybody else that I've talked to about it either. You know what I mean? So I think there is this thing, obviously, that we all are aware of that hasn't been spoken of. I mean, this is a thing, maybe this is like the elephant in the room that you've been
He totally
talking
started
about.
pouring chai down my throat, but it went like everywhere. It went from like literally, okay? This one guy's complaining
we
about
don't
this.
talk about it, but some gay men are afraid that their voices sound too effeminate. When I don't have confidence in myself, I'm no different. I'm afraid that my voice repels other gay men. Not to mention the world.
We know exactly what you're about, Mr. Limbaugh.
What am I about, sir? Tell me, Mr. Newcathrotty, just exactly what am I about, sir?
Morgan said, quote, if his son was gay, he better come home and talk to him like a man and not. He mimicked gay in a high-pitched voice, or he would pull out a knife and stab that little N-word to death.
A Ross County student who says he was bullied and beaten for being gay is speaking out for the first time since this videotaped beating went public.
Why do you talk like a girl? Why do you walk like that? You're so weird.
I can't shake the idea of changing my voice. Let's see. Oh, cat. What are the advantages of sounding gay? At the moment, all I can think of are the disadvantages. At the top of a hill in Laurel Canyon. At the top of a hill in...
Good morning, David.
Hey.
How are you today?
Good. Great to see you.
You too. Come on
Thanks. Mind. Riot. Dying. I'd. Was that too long?
in. No, you're good.
I'd. Arise. Dynasty. I'll never know for sure what I sounded like growing up. There's no hard evidence. I don't have any recordings of my voice. Just these Super 8 films my grandfather shot. How and when did I learn to sound gay? Where does my gay voice come from?
Every one of us is presented with lots and lots of models of what language should sound like. So we hear men, we hear women, we hear kids our own age, we hear adults, we hear older adults. And in all of these interactions, we have different opportunities to emulate different aspects of those people's speech.
My father worked on the railroad, and he and my brother got along, and my brother always wanted to talk to my dad or go to the workshop, and I loved staying inside reading, helping my mother bake, and secretly listening to her phone calls with her girlfriends. And that to me was fun. And so guess who sounds gay? Variations are tiny differences in pronunciation, like the difference between s and s. Two different versions of exactly the same sound, but different people pronounce them different ways. Gay-sounding men are using clearer vowels. Vowel durations are longer. S's longer. L's clearer. Over-articulating the P's, T's, and K's. These things all add up to the same phenomenon that's been observed with women versus men on average. Listeners perceive a gay-sounding voice as a feminine-sounding voice. This is indicative of a stereotype, a cultural stereotype. People want gay men to be like women, and maybe they picked up on the fact that many characteristics of gay-sounding voices are feminine characteristics, but they've got it all wrong, because a lot of those gay-sounding voices are from straight guys.
It's a phenomenon where individuals who belong to stigmatized groups still make an enormous effort to keep that stigma from looming large.
This is Lady Gaga.
Gays have to cover in a myriad of ways because sexual orientation is not a visible attribute. The voice is, the tell is the voice is what might actually give away to somebody who otherwise would not know the fact that an individual is gay.
I work in a very conservative, pretty straight-laced kind of place.
At times at work, do you try to sort of talk less gay than you might?
I think I try to just be as neutral as possible. I try not to crack too many funnies. I try not to camp it up at all. I think I try to be as straight. Not straight meaning I can't pretend that I'm straight, but meaning I try to just sort of say what I need to say and say it in a very neutral way and try to make it very clear and concise.
The least. One of the things I'm doing is working with a speech coach to learn how essentially to sound straight. What do you think about the fact that I'm doing that?
Here you are, you've come out of the fucking closet, you've done the therapy, you've done all the things, and then you're still, changing the way you are. You're still changing how you sound or how you look to satisfy some fucking invisible value that is so stupid in a way, really. Je veux pas la monnaie. I mean, this thing of hypermasculinity is such a conscious performance in gay male culture all the time, everywhere you go, and it just feels so oppressive at times, actually, to me. It feels so ungenerous and so unloving.
Why do you think gay men sometimes reject other gay men for sounding gay?
Misogyny. They want to prove to the culture that they're, not men, that they're good because they're not women, not like women. They don't want women. They don't want to sleep with women. They don't want to act like women, and then they'll punish gay men who they perceive as being feminine in any way.
Whereas in the 30s, gay characters were seen maybe a little more peripheral and harmless. Starting with Clifton Webb and Laura, you can see where they really start becoming more dangerous.
Murder is my favorite crime.
I write about it regularly.
Snide, supercilious, superior. He's so clearly gay, it's sort of this torturous jealousy. Is he jealous of the male character or of the woman character? But he does it all kind of through his voice as much as anything else.
And he played a killer, correct?
From the 1940s on, a lot of gay characters either get killed or are killers. And a lot of that begins with Laura.
Peter Pan will be blasted out of Neverland forever.
Captain Hook was sort of a Clifton Webb type character. And so there was this in Peter Pan, and it kind of got carried across the next decade to The Jungle Book.
I thought perhaps you were entertaining someone up there in your coils.
Coils?
And of course, Shere Khan is evil. After Shere Khan, you get a few more of the male characters.
Oh, my dear Bartholomew, I'm afraid that you have gone and upset me. You know what happens when someone upsets me.
Perhaps I can divine a solution to this thorny problem. Oh, I shall practice my curtsy.
These voices of the Disney villains, which sort of have gay or proto-gay qualities to them. If you think of very, very young children, you know, they could be growing up with the idea that real evil or villainy can be connoted by a gay man's voice.
Well, as far as brains go, I got the lion's share, but when it comes to brute strength, I'm afraid I'm at the shallow end of the gene pool.
There's one in every family.
I felt so emotionally disconnected from my voice, from myself. I wasn't sure who to be or what to sound like. It never occurred to me that I was physically disconnected from my voice, from myself. I found a stronger voice.
Cheers. Thanks for coming.
To you.
But eventually, I stopped doing my exercises.
Wow, this looks really, really good, though.
Yeah. Bon appetit, bitches.
Thank you.
Thanks. So your voice didn't change, but you did.
You know, my voice did change. Like, my voice definitely got stronger, but the gay did not change. And
That ain't changing.
that ain't changing.
Are you still doing it?
No, I stopped doing them
Right.
because I don't know, for some reason I'm able now to like hear my voice and hear how distinctive it is.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, like the sound of your voice is shaped by the shape of your body. So that's why we all sound different. You know?
Like you were saying, it's the specificity of you. It's like who you are, your voice is who you are, it's from your body, it's from your personality, and we love that.
I mean, I still feel self-conscious sometimes about sounding gay. I would imagine you do too.
Yes, of course. And I don't know if that will ever change.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible for that to ever go away.
Right.
100%.
Right, and that's both sad and also but I feel like I know how now to push that away, to get back into that headspace of like, rah, 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 like sound gayer, be gayer, go gay, like.
You want to raise your fist in the air
Right.
and march down the street. You also want to feel like
I'm normal.
I don't think every
Right.
single day I want to be with my fist in the air with that.
And we negotiate that like every day. It's
Right.
like how,
In every circumstance.
right, every minute.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, I think that one of the reasons why we're so concerned with what our voices sound like is that we're taught that your voice is who you really are.